The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Week 16, spread picks, game previews, things that are under curse, free money, which is not free money, in SUPERLOCKS. All of that inside of the show, but before we get to it, I want to let you know to leave subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Even if you don't listen to podcasts, I suggest you do this because there's a giveaway for $100 by subscribing to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast, leaving a 5-star review, DraftKings handle, and something you like about this show, and you will be in that draw for 100 DK dollars. You want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks? Smash the like, leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section, and tell me your favorite spread or total for Week 16. Also, the Pat Mayo Experience DraftKings Listeners League link is in the description of the video and pod. 2,500 spots this week. $15 to enter, 3 max entry, no rake. So it's the best tournament on DraftKings. Let's fill that out. So, you didn't make it to the finals of your season-long fantasy football league. You can win all that money and more by playing in the Pat Mayo Experience DraftKings Listeners League. Bringing in now, joining me, the second member of the team, live from San Diego, California, Geoff Fienberg. What's up?
How's it going?
I'm doing well. You see yourself there, or can you not see?
Can I see myself there? What does that mean?
All right, so the answer is going to be no to that question.
What? You have me on video?
No, I don't have you on now. Never mind. Never mind, Geoff. The people will know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I'm doing fine. I absolutely love it here. San Diego has treated me like a charm. However, my afternoon day trip to Carson was not so friendly.
No, I'm sort of upset we didn't end up making that bet now.
Yeah, what's funny is once the spread dropped so low, I was like, I don't know. I don't even care to like engage in it with Pat. But here we are. Sorry, you're lost. How'd you message me? I would have said yes to anything you wanted, though. I don't have the...
Okay, I have a question for you. I hear that clicking again. That means you're hitting something on your end. No, now you're fiddling.
No, it's gone for good. It's
Gone
my microphone. My microphone is it's tapping against my chest. That's what it is, and now it's gone.
Yeah, so you need to shave off all that chest hair. Then, no clicking problems whatsoever, and you can have your mic.
Yep, I'll learn for next time. It's also a really cheap mic that I just threw in my bag, so it's a waste of time and a mistake.
All right, well, I mean, this bodes well for next week because we will be doing a Week 17 spread pick show produced on remote location. There will be no video for it. It'll just be audio. I'll upload it to YouTube anyway. But it will involve me, you, the coin, but Paul will not be there, but who will be there with me in person, Tim Undergust!
Tim Undergust.
That is not my name.
But you will be there.
I will be. Yeah, you'll be able to see what I go through in terms of my preparation for this show.
I am saying that we're filming it now, so I'm holding us to this. If it ever comes out, then I'll be stunned.
It will be better or worse than the time you had to film on location and you made them put that photo of you in the host chair.
It was great. I mean, Geoff, were you the one who was in studio for that show? I can't remember.
No.
All right.
It was A-Rap.
No, it was Garion. Garion was in studio. Me and you were both on the line, but whenever I spoke, it cut to me in my seat with a photo of myself, but then A-Rap dropped it and shattered all the glass.
I love it. Sounds like A-Rap.
Yeah, that sounded about right. Let's recap last week.
That's such a great phoner board. Oh my God, that's a good phoner board. Paul is yeoman's work.
See, that's what I was talking about when I said, could Geoff see himself?
That's why I was losing.
What did you do?
Well, you're gonna have to watch the show to find out. The show's off the rails.
Good SEO value.
It's nothing bad. It's nothing bad, Geoff. It's funny.
I went 10-5-1 last week. I was the L winner of the week. Geoff and CUST, you guys were both 8-7-1. The coin has fallen out of contention to repeat as spread picks champion, as the coin went 5-10-1. I take a 4-game lead in the overall picks. I'm 113-104. Geoff is 109-108. Tim is 106-113. The coin 93-124. Tim, do you think this is a 1-year aberration for the coin? Like the coin will get its mo back next season? Or is this just it? The coin has to stop watching the games.
I think it's done. I think the coin had its moment. And I hope you forget to bring the coin with you next week so it has to forfeit all of its picks.
You know, I can probably find a coin.
But it's not the coin.
Tim, if I let you in on a little trade secret here, it's very rarely ever the same coin.
Yes, it is. It's always the same coin. Don't destroy the illusion for the people.
I just feel like you don't know how this works.
I know what's up, but I'm trying to keep the mystery alive for the listener. And you're just demystifying everything.
SUPERLOCKS. Oh, go ahead.
I felt like this week more than ever, we got attacked on the interwebs about how bad our picks are. And all 3 of us went over 500, and 2 of us are over 500 on the season, picking every game against the spread.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing. If people are coming at this show for the quality of picks and like they're upset if they're good or bad, that means they're not regular viewers of this show, and they're probably mentally unstable.
And I get attacked so often on Twitter on a daily basis that I don't notice an uptick, really. It's all just par for the course for me. So if you say that happened, it happened. But
SUPERLOCK records. I'm 5-9-1. I'm done. Tim is 6-8-1. He is not done because Geoff is 7-6-2. Geoff was the only one to win last week. Despite having a good picks week, I picked Miami to cover. They did not cover. So I can still pass Tim, but I cannot catch Geoff. Geoff, you've already beaten me, but Tim can technically pass you.
Yeah, hopefully I can hold on. I had a couple horrible beats, but I don't, whatever. Who cares about that? There it is. Philip Rivers' 10th child.
That's
I finally figured out how to. Yeah, that's me. I don't know. Dallas. People were really down on Dallas for some reason last week because they saw them lose in primetime a couple.
I was down on them. I hated them. I thought it was a terrible spot. I'm flabbergasted. I think the most shocking result of the weekend was not the Falcons beating the Niners. It was the Cowboys beating down the Rams and putting their season to the sword. I didn't see that coming.
The point spread pick'em game was a total surprise. That one team won that you didn't expect.
I mean, the most shocking thing of the week was the Redskins not covering that number against the Eagles. That was horrendous.
Yeah, that's a bad beat.
And not
Same as the over under in the Niners and the Falcons too. Exact same type of bad
No,
beat.
that was not the exact same bad beat. And here's why. One, a team was driving to score points to come back and win the game, and thus it would have hidden over. Dwayne Haskins just sucks, and Philadelphia returned it for a touchdown at the end of the game. That's one is likelier than the other.
Yet I like Dwayne Haskins this week. We get into that.
Well, I mean, you did say on the Sunday morning live show that you wish you had taken the Redskins because the Redskins were definitely going to cover. Thanks.
Glad I didn't, but I was right about Peterson, and so.
Oh man, this show.
Honestly, I just need to.
This show is off the rails. Just I wanted to submit this. This is going to be the wonkiest show of the year.
Probably the worst show of the year.
We'll get it back. We'll try.
All right. Let's get to the games then. Saturday only. I am so excited to only have Saturday games instead of a Thursday night game. This is fantastic. It's like a mini Thanksgiving slate, but on a Saturday. I'll be watching these games with CUST. All week I'll be watching with CUST. So Houston at Tampa Bay kicks off the slate. Tampa is +3 at home. The over-under is 50.5 in this game. No Godwin. No Evans. It's going to be Hyman and Watson and Perriman and Howard on offense for the Bucs. This game opened at 1. When I talk about a parlay I put together just for some kicks on Saturday, I actually got this at +1 or -1 for the Texans instead of -3, which I much prefer. Just getting 2 points right off the hop is kind of nice. But I got strong feelings about this Saturday's slate overall. So, Geoff, we'll start with you. I really like the Texans here. I can see them losing, obviously, but these two teams are so similar that I'll just take the team with the better quarterback.
Listen, the injuries at receiver for Tampa are alarming for me. I know some people think at this point Jameis can survive them, and while I've never been on Tim's level of Jameis, I was thoroughly invested in him in a lot of places all season long, and I freaking love the guy, and he better be back in Tampa. Like, if they don't want him back, honestly, I'd take Jameis Winston. I swear to God. And that shouldn't even be a surprise. There's no way they won't take him back. But I'm with you. I'll take the Texans. They get the win, and they put all the pressure in the world on the Les Titans, who will have to play the Saints. Give me the Titans. The Texans.
So, Tim, you were on the Tampa. You made the bet with us that Tampa would win more than 7.5 games. They have to win one of these next two. So I assume you're taking them here.
No, I'm not, because of the injuries to the receivers and the Texans bounce back. If the Buccaneers were totally healthy, the Bucs would be favored, and I'd expect the Bucs to win. I think the Bucs are every bit as good a team as the Texans are healthy, but their 2-star receivers are out. I don't know if those are overcomable against a pretty reasonable defense in the Texans. I expect them to do enough to win this game. I don't love it, but I will take the Texans on the road.
I'm starting to think that I guess everyone's going to take Houston because of the receiver situation in Tampa. I'm not too concerned about the receiver situation in Tampa. Unlike Geoff, I'm actually kind of convinced Jameis can kind of do it with a bunch of nobodies.
If I got 3 and a hook or 4, I could be tempted to jump on the Buccaneers, but at 3, I'm not there yet.
Well, this is part 1 and part 2 of Pat's teaser, 6.5-point teaser for the Saturday games. Did you know that, Tim?
I didn't know that. I mean, I have a mini Saturday doubleheader teaser myself, but it doesn't involve this game.
So I grabbed this earlier in the week. I have the Texans up to plus 5.5, and I have the over down to 46.5 from this game.
Well, I don't mind that. You did teaser 0, so you did commit a cardinal sin. But
I'm not too concerned about it since I got 2 free points on it.
No, I don't hate it, and you got to get through a couple of key numbers on the other side. So, I mean, I like your chances.
Are there 5 more players in the league worth paying to watch than Jameis Winston?
Josh Allen, Lamar,
from a
Mahomes,
Mayfield.
Like, the good, even the bad is so freaking entertaining. Like, it's all entertaining.
Yeah, this Bucs team, if healthy next year, can absolutely win it all. Like, they're that good.
Oh, well, let's pump the brakes there. You've already sent poor Matt Stafford to injured reserve. They're now bringing back Matt Patricia in Detroit after you said they could win the Super Bowl. So they're not, is the answer to that question.
But I heard good. Yeah, I like the teams that you're getting off of for 2020.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. There's one team I have completely sworn off.
Next game, we have Buffalo at New England. New England would have to lose this week and lose next week at Miami. And the Bills would need to win the final 2 games in order for the Bills to win the division. So it's very unlikely, even if they win this game, that they win the division. New England's favored by 6.5 at home, 38.5 is the over-under. I think that the Bills are going to win. I really do. The Patriots just do not look good whatsoever. They've already dropped a few games at home. And even if they don't win outright, I do like the plus 6.5. I think that's just too many points for an offense that is both banged up and can't really move the ball. I think losing their center is a much bigger deal than a lot of people are giving it credit for. And the Bills defense just keeps showing up week after week. As long as Josh Allen doesn't do something completely stupid like he did the first time around and basically just give them short field so they can kick field goals or commit the cardinal sin of the pick 6, the Bills should stay within 6.5 points here and have a potential to win this game by the end. I mean, Hauschka sucks, so they probably won't kick a 50-yard field goal to win, but they might have an opportunity, so I'll take the Bills plus 6.5. Tim?
Preposterous. Patriots going to win this thing by 3 touchdowns. I love them. We're teasing them up. They're the first end of a 6-point tease. They're in the very short list for SUPERLOCKS this week. They're not losing this game at home, coming off of a pretty, you say what you want. They won at 42-13. They won a pretty commanding victory against the Bengals last week. And then having played a couple of bad games before that, they cannot lose this game because if they were to lose, of course, then the Chiefs would grab the bye on them. So they've got everything to play for and have to put the pedal down hard. Listen, Josh Allen played very poorly on Sunday night. He had a couple of bad turnovers. He did not look sharp. He overthrew wide open receivers. His great fortune was that Devlin Hodges happens to be considerably worse. And we'll get into that with the nonsense that is Devlin Hodges favored this week, which is unjustifiable. But the Bills just do not have, I don't think, the talent on the offensive side or the defensive side to match up with the Patriots. The last game was 16-10, and the Bills had to get a lot of things go right for them to get to 16-10.
Like they had to get a lot of things go right, like Josh Allen getting hurt and then playing Matt Barkley.
Yeah, but you know what? That game, if they were a competent offense, they would have been up by a lot. They would have been up in that game before that happened. I don't like this Bills team that much. I'm shocked they won last week. I still don't think they have many, if any, more wins in them. And I think they get their doors blown off here in Foxborough, as is what usually happens to AFC East teams in December in Foxborough.
Paul, let's go to you on this one. This must make you feel pretty good.
I want to thank Tim on behalf of all of Bills Mafia for this. This is the first time we've won 10 games in 20 years. 1999. Who can forget? Really, we couldn't have done it without you, Tim. Your distrust and lack of faith in this team has really driven us to playing the best football we have in forever. So thank you for that. And hopefully we win. You may actually win that division bet against me. And I'm willing to pay out for that if you continue to do this. That would involve the Patriots losing against Miami next week in Week 17. But thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
My turn.
Go ahead.
Tim's got something to say.
No, I don't.
All right. Before I get to my opinion on this game, this is now the second time in like 15, 20 minutes that Tim has referred to being shocked by a result of a pick'em freaking game from the weekend. Like, listen, we can like a side, we cannot like a side, but you're crazy to like be flabbergasted that Dallas won at home and the Bills beat a Pittsburgh team that plays these close games against a team that's very similar.
Well, I wasn't shocked that Dallas won. I was shocked that Dallas routed the Rams. That I did not see as a live option.
Well, listen, I had Dallas as my super lock. Did I see them routing the Rams? No, but anyways, this is we're now at a point where the Bills will be publicly backed versus the Patriots as an underdog.
I don't know if that's going to be the case, just because people see Patriots less than a touchdown bet. They do.
How could they lose?
I don't know. You're probably right that I'm living my own truth and the stream of like Morency and company in my feed, making it feel like the world is now like a full believer in Buffalo.
Yeah, they Buffalo, are. Yeah. The world is not a full believer in Buffalo, as they shouldn't be. They're not that good, but they're a very good matchup for the Patriots in general.
This feels like people who like betting against like the asshole. Like, people are so excited, in my opinion, to bet Buffalo because they think this is some stake in the heart moment. And I'm not there. Mafia knows I'm on your side, and I'll be cheering for you in a couple weeks. And I do acknowledge that the spread could be a little high, but just sort of like, I don't know, like, to me, Brady Belichick at any moment, for all the struggles, it could be like Rory McIlroy, like shooting a couple 80s, and then it's such a fine line what flips the switch to get it good again. And I think they get something done in this Saturday game as the world tunes in, ready to see the stake in the heart. I'm going to play the other side. I don't think we're there yet. Give me the Patriots. If this game was Sunday at 1 o'clock, I would not have a cent on it. But it's Saturday freaking night, and I'll have nothing to do. So I might even invest in this one.
So as a part of that teaser that I talked about, I teased the Bills up to plus 13 to go along with Houston 5.5 and that over in that game down to 46.5. So it's going to be tough without defensive scores for the Patriots to put up that many points on the Bills. At least I think that's how it's going to end up going. So I guess the biggest thing here is the Patriots looked damaged on offense, like injury-wise. Like Edelman looked like he was about 50% in that game, and he couldn't do anything against the Bengals. Fortunately, they didn't have to, but if you think that posting 40 on the Bengals is the same as like putting up 20 on the Bills, it's not, Tim.
No, but I'm just telling you, I've seen this over and over and over and over again. Somehow, some way, they'll block a punt and they'll block a kick. The Patriots have been ball hawks when it comes to bad passes. Like Allen will throw one or two bad passes. Singletary can't run the ball without it being fumbled or almost fumbled, it seems. I don't know. I have no faith that the Bills are going to do that. You have to beat the Patriots in Foxborough. You have to do all the little things right. And I have yet to see from Buffalo the idea that they can do all the little things right. I expect them to gag or make a mistake. And so that's the way I'm going with this. And I think I'm going to be right.
Besides primetime games, when's the last time you watched Buffalo?
Thanksgiving.
So primetime games.
Against
Because the Jets are always on at the same time, so you're not actually watching Buffalo Bills football. We know this.
I've watched them against the Jets when you guys got lucky to get that game because Sam was sick.
How about week 1?
Yeah.
Fucking December.
Thank you, Tim.
Your reverse curse of the Patriots is really working well, I must say.
They just won 42-13. Oh, yeah, they're real cursed.
They beat the Bengals.
Okay, but they blew them out.
Yeah, they've lost it. They've lost to every good team they've played so far.
On that note, this incident is not getting the air it deserves.
Oh, no one
It is
cares.
not-
No one cares.
No,
It's
It is
exhausting.
not-
They're cheaters.
is-
They will lose draft picks, but we know they will, so we're going to move on.
I think it could be time that they steal the verbiage from the NCAA and suspend that man for lack of institutional control. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it would
that-
be dust.
That's also never going to happen.
I don't know. They suspended Brady for 4 games.
Yeah, because
would
of
be the
Brady's
great
involvement
thing.
in fake deflating footballs. But like, you probably have to spend like Robert Kraft from like going to the games. That's basically all you could do.
No, you could
I-
suspend Belichick the first 4 games next year.
That's not
No
going to
one would've
happen.
done-
That's not going to happen.
It probably
Put it
isn't. But
this
it probably could.
Put it this way. I know a Patriots fan who wishes they suspend him the year under this premise. Then they go 1-15 without Belichick and get first overall and get Trevor Lawrence, and it all happens again.
That's not going to happen. Anyway, let's move on. Rams at San Francisco. The Niners are favored by 6 at home. 45 is the over-under. It seems like a really good spot now with the Rams season dead for the 49ers to come and whoop the Rams in this spot. At least that's the way that I'm thinking it. So I teased the Niners down to a pick 'em. So that's the 4-team 6.5 point parlay that I played here. Can anyone talk me out of like not only taking the Niners on here, but actually like betting the Niners pretty severely?
I mean, I'm playing the Rams.
Good. So yes. So I'm right.
I don't know. This does seem like all the trappings of, the Rams are deflated and dead, and they'll just be dead men walking on the road in division. But it's still a ton of points to a team that's 8-6 and still has some good offensive players. And I think that's too many points. You still Geoff last week accepted, that he was starting to click. The offense was starting to click. And the 49ers lost last week. They figured they'd be up a little bit more for the game, but there's no home field advantage in San Francisco anyway. So I don't know. It seems like a couple points too many. I thought it should have been about 4.5 or 4. You're going to give me 6.5. Or 6. I'm going to take the Rams.
Well, I guess it really depends on one of the reasons that I ended up on Atlanta last week was because of the massive amount of defensive injuries to the Niners. And it looks like they're getting a lot of those players back for this week. Now, I could change my tune come Saturday morning and like Sherman ends up being out and, they're still down, a part of half their D line. They're missing another corner. Then I think it's a little bit different. But if they can get 90% of their defense back, I just don't see how they can block for Geoff. And if you go back and look at Geoff in the games they actually played well, it's against like scrub defenses. And even at 50%, this still isn't a scrub defense.
My guess is that a lot of sharp money will come in on Los Angeles.
Maybe. We'll see how that goes. But you can't identify what's sharp and what's square.
Yeah, I can, because the public's not going to line up to bet the Rams.
They might.
No way.
People still This is
Not
almost
after
like
what happened with Dallas.
sure, but the 49ers just lost to Atlanta too.
Yeah, but nobody saw that game. And the Niners are still going to probably win the division and probably have the first seed. So, like, anyway, I just think the Rams will be a very, very unpopular team, and it seems like a great spot on that Saturday night where weird and fluky things have happened over the years in this Saturday night game.
Tim,
Yeah.
do you want to know a little secret? And I thought you would know this, being like a guy that likes sort of the in and outs of football and the little things, whether it be a jersey patch or broadcast information. The entire world sees the end of that game. The same way they see the entire end of the Chargers get screwed in Denver, because when the games end, CBS or Fox will go to the last game live. Like if Fox has a game and it's over and there's one game left, they show you the end of that game. So
But
that
the
game
Cowboys
goes
game ended last.
those games go national.
I appreciate that, but the Cowboys game lasted longer because there were 60 some odd points scored in that game, and it just took forever.
Oh, well, I was in my car and I heard that Rams game or the Falcons game on the radio. Anyhow, I'll shut up. I agree with Pat. Maybe you fear the back door. This game being at night also sort of, I don't know, it pushes it up. You see the Ravens, the Saints, these really good teams at night around the holidays, headed to the playoffs, still fighting for it. I could see it getting ugly. And the amount of money, as Pat alluded to, I think you'd like some reassurance from that defensive injury report from San Francisco. But early indications in the week all signs are pointing up. And this Rams team, this is a team that went to the Super Bowl last year. And by my opinion, they overachieved this year. But I am going to stand on the hill that teams in that situation went to the Super Bowl the year before, extremely high expectations. And once those aren't met, it's just a flat air. It's just a flat balloon now for them coming home. And that's no disrespect. For all my sort of picking on the Rams, they overachieved this year, in my opinion. And they went to the Super Bowl last year and are now not in the playoffs, and they deserve to go home flat. I wouldn't hold that against them one iota, to be perfectly honest. That's just the reality of life.
Niners for Geoff and I, and the Rams for CUST in the coin. Back in the coin. Probably not a savvy move based on the coin's record so far. Sunday games, early slate. Baltimore at Cleveland. Cleveland is a 10-point dog at home. They have infighting. 48 is the over-under. The Browns are 1-0 against the Ravens this year, but the Ravens still have stuff to play for because if they somehow kind of collapse here in the final 2 weeks, Kansas City can pass them for the number 1 seed because they own the tiebreak.
And if they win this week, they lock up the number 1 seed.
Yes, so they would have to lose twice, and the Chiefs would have to win out, but the Ravens seem to have some problems with the Browns. Maybe it's the ferocious rushing attack, but I can't, like, almost where you said that you can't see anyone taking the Rams, which I disagree with because the Rams are still a very publicly known team to very casual bettors because, as Geoff alluded to, they played in the Super Bowl last year. No one wants to bet the Browns this week. This was almost the exact same situation as week 2 or week 3, whenever it was, when the Browns went into Baltimore and won. I like the Browns getting the points at home plus 10, so I'll take Cleveland.
I just want to highlight that I was mocked vociferously for a bet that I made that the Browns wouldn't finish top 2 in their division, and I'm going to win that bet. And,
you also gave out odds on that. It was still a bet. Just because you win a bet doesn't make it a good bet. You know that, right?
Okay, but I am going to win.
Like, for example, if you win your bet with Paul, even money that the Jets, Bills, or Miami will win the AFC East, when with Paul, who had to put even money on the other side, even if you win, it was a terrible bet.
Not arguing that, just simply saying I was laughed at and I'm going to win it. So sometimes, blind squirrels find nuts. Yeah, I'll take Baltimore. The chance to have essentially 2 bye weeks and keep Jackson away from having to take hits an extra week is such an advantage, such an important thing that there's every reason to go all out in this game. The Ravens, of course, hate the Browns. This is a real rivalry. The Browns are, in absolute turmoil, and you love to see it. They keep saying they're bringing back Freddie Kitchens. I, for one, endorse that decision 100%. I mean, you've got a 25-year-old under center who doesn't know what he's doing, who's gotten worse, and who, is one, bad stretch next season from losing a starting job forever. I mean, there's nothing to look forward to in Cleveland. All the great draft picks that were made and the great franchise building that was done goes to show you that the Browns went about it exactly the wrong way, apparently. Or at least they just made bad draft picks other than Ward at the cornerback position. It delights me to dance on their grave. It will delight me for a lot longer to continue to dance on their grave. I hope the Ravens rip them apart, and I don't have to hear the word Cleveland Browns again until they draft in the middle of the first round.
Geoff, where are you going with this? It just seems like Cleveland's got to double down on running the ball as much as possible and milk it. I think if you want to bet Cleveland, wait, because there's no possible way that early in the week that people are like, I'm betting the Browns.
This is hard because you can imagine the Ravens will be such a publicly backside, but sort of like last year's Chiefs, the books, sometimes they can't do enough with the steaming train of the year. And this time around, it is Baltimore. And the way that they just attack and attack and attack, and the way that they don't punt the ball, and there's nothing you can do about it. They embarrassed a team last week on their own side of the field. Who was that team? Who was that?
No, you know what? I don't want to talk about that. We will talk.
No.
You're gonna throw your fucking stone. I'll get mine in.
I didn't throw a stone at your team. I threw a stone at the Browns, and I guess
I know stones are coming. I watch on the mornings.
Given the way they're playing, I would say that they might as well not load up that Bud Light fridge for a victory because it's not going to happen.
Anyhow, listen, and for their defense not, maybe being as good as, ever since the Peters trade they've been on. I mean, Adam Gase, Sam Darnold, Peyton Manning, I'm sorry, couldn't figure it out in that Thursday night football game.
I tell you, okay, this is unnecessary. I don't understand what
I like the Ravens. I think the Ravens are a really good football team. I think the Ravens are a litmus test for the entire fucking league, guys. You play Baltimore, your owner better be paying close goddamn attention. And he better have his consigliere writing everything that's happening. I'm talking about coaching. I'm talking about strategy. I'm talking about every part. It is a litmus test for your entire organization when you play that guy, when you play them right now. And I'm not picking on any one team to say that because they're running train on everybody. And this is too many points. But you don't step in front of it. That's it. I do agree. There's all the case. It's a Sunday game. It won't have my money on it. But for the purposes of this show, as long as the Ravens need to win, I'm not stepping in front of them one bit. And that should give you a hint that I'm on that for when we get to January too.
And we're teasing the Ravens down. That's the second part of the teaser.
Ravens minus. Are you playing 6 or 6.5?
6.
So Ravens -4.
Yeah.
Okay. It is worth pointing out that the quarterback who's going to be benched and the team that's in complete turmoil has a better record than the team you think is really good.
No, but you know what? They didn't put us on the cover.
Oh, wait. Oh, are we going to hear excuses again?
I'm going to say they didn't put us on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Our quarterback didn't do a GQ photo shoot.
GK, hold on. Do you think, listen, Pat Mayo could be in GQ. Like, putting Sam Darnold in GQ would be like putting you in GQ.
Hey, me in GQ.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying that, the hype around the Browns was ridiculous. And then they fed into it. And Mayfield, again, with his false bravado and false confidence, tried to pump up a team that didn't have. The thing was, this Browns team never had the talent. There was actually no case argument for the Browns to win the division this year. That's what was so silly, is that everybody was high on their own supply, thinking that somehow the Browns are going to be great. It's foolish, absolutely foolish. We're glad to see them get buried, and they can take that Bud Light fridge and they can go to hell.
The Browns had a pretty interesting offseason, and they may have made some trades that they regret, but they didn't give all the world to a running back who couldn't even get 100 yards once.
Yeah, but he bowls a nice game.
Honestly, they were on the cover of SI. They were the betting favorite to win the division.
I know. It is
fun. They're going to crash out like you haven't seen before. They're like, you know what? Earlier in the year, I said they were a lot like that Eagles team that was supposed to be the swag squad that didn't make the playoffs. That's who this Browns team is. And until they make a change at the head coach and starting quarterback position, they're not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, you think that the Jets are going somewhere and they have a worse quarterback.
The Jets have a better quarterback.
They don't. They have a quarterback with fewer wins.
And
I'm looking at it right now.
Their three best defensive players are all hurt.
Oh,
The
it's so
Jets might
sad.
have a-
The Jets are
might
so
have
good,
a
but they're
worse
just a
coach.
bunch of circumstances
Let's go
because
to
they
their
are
game.
so
Let's go
bad.
to it.
Oh, we're not
Let's go to
going. We're not going to their game. We might even. You
The
know
Jets
what?
might have a worse coach.
I have decided that we're not even talking about that game,
Oh, okay, sure.
or at least we'll put you on mute when we talk about it.
Well, I would like to have a conversation with somebody about coaching quarterback, but I could have it with Pat.
Yeah. So Cleveland for me, Baltimore for the rest of you. Carolina and Indianapolis. Indy's favored by 6.5 at home. 46 is the over-under. Short week for the Colts. Everyone's kind of banged up. Brissett looks hurt. Obviously, T.Y.'s hurt. And the Panthers are starting Will Grier at quarterback this week. Geoff, let me ask you. Upgrade or downgrade starting Will Grier?
Okay, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't sell myself as a college savant, but I definitely knew who Will Grier was at West Virginia, and I didn't really have a clue remembering ever. I'm sure I watched Kyle Allen play in college, but I don't remember him, and he obviously didn't, catch me during the draft period. So, Will Grier, let's go.
I honestly thought they were talking about Grandpa Walton, Will Grier. That's honestly who I thought of first and foremost from the Waltons. I had to look up to see if this was somehow like they were related. Now they have a different last name.
What are you talking about? This guy was like putting up 50 burgers a game under Holgerson at West Virginia.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of lower end Big 12 football, I have to admit. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, it's too many points. So give me the Panthers. I don't. I even the slightest clue who's going to win this game. You could tell me it's Carolina or Indy, I'd believe it. And I gotta, make a pick because I'm in first place in this money league where I have to pick winners every week, and I don't know how the heck I'm going to pick this game. But leaning Carolina.
Oh my God, he's kvetching about his non-spread pick every game.
This is a tough one. This is where it gets tough. This is where this is when Parcells. This is why we lift those weights. It's for these big spots.
Okay, fine, but 99% of people listening have to pick this game with the spread, and you're kvetching about just having to pick the winner.
I think it's easier to pick this game against the spread than it is to pick the winner. I'm going to pick the Panthers.
Yes, and yes, you can sense that I have spent some time around family and older Jewish people that I've dropped kvetching twice.
Geoff, where are you going with this?
I like the Panthers. It's just too many points. A short week. I really hate this game because I don't know if you remember, not that you should, but a week ago I said, I don't think you can pick the Panthers again because I truly believe the team has quit. Like they like the coach, and I don't think anyone respects how it was handled, at least in the locker room. But this is a weird one because it was such a beatdown. It's such a short week. They fought so hard this year. Without QB1 who walked out the door, love him, hate him, whatever, 10 days, 14 days before the season. And they battled so hard, and I don't know. I just picked the Panthers, who will get just an upstart. The rookie starts. I don't know. A lot of these kids have won those first games. Allen, Locke, maybe I'm just nitpicking, but you sense every time the team just sort of rises, and I'm looking for anything, and I get the points.
I'm going to take Indy minus 6.5. A lot of their struggles the past 2 weeks have really come with their inability to run the ball whatsoever, and they got to play Tampa, the best run defense, and the Saints, the fourth best run defense. And now they get the worst run defense in the league, that they should be able to manage this pretty easily. Then you can set up play action. Then Brissett can take some shots down the field. Hopefully, the fact that they played Hilton towards the end of that Saints game when it was completely over leads me to believe that he's going to play. Maybe he doesn't end up playing, which would be a significant kick in the nuts after taking Indy. But I think they can keep this. I think it'll be somewhat close, and you always worry that with McCaffrey and DJ Moore, they can come back and backdoor this game like they did against Seattle to push it. But I think Indy at home is good enough here. They want to get one more win before the end of the year, I think. Okay, next game. All right. Cincinnati at Miami. Tim, this is being requested most as game on Sunday that we have on the big TV.
Yeah, I mean, the heck do you do with this game? The Bengals lose and they lock up the number 1 pick overall. The Dolphins have no incentive really to win because they're, like in a cluster of teams between like 2 and 6 for a pick. It's so very tough. But in the end, I'm going to pick the Dolphins because I think the Dolphins are marginally a better football team, but not much more. I have zero confidence in this pick, and I don't actually have a whole lot to say about this garbage game other than I'm going to plug my nose, play Miami.
Dolphins are -1 here, the 1-point favorite, breaking a streak of 15 consecutive games where they've been underdogs. 47's the over-under. I'm going to take Cincinnati. I know it is a revenge game, one of, I think, 13 this year for Ryan Fitzpatrick, but it's been a while since he's been on the Bengals. So Dalton's back. He's clicking. I know that they don't have Auden Tate, but Tyler Boyd should feast here. And this should just be nice shout out to Tim here. He called the Joe Mixon over against the Patriots, and you can run all over the Dolphins. Maybe that they can't defend anything, but I think that they're good enough to win this game. So I'll take the +1 with Cincinnati. Geoff?
Yeah, I think that if Andy Dalton was the quarterback all year and Glenn was playing, they're not drafting first overall. Now, that's not to say they'd have a better record than the Dolphins or some of those other teams, but I'm crazy enough to think there's actually value on the Bengals. I mean that. Give me the Bengale.
All right, so it's Cincinnati for everyone except for Tim in this matchup. So the coin actually took Carolina in the last game too when I took Indy. So Tim, I think it's the first time you've deviated with the coin so far. No, the first game you took Houston. The coin was the only one to take Tampa. You're trying to tail the coin. He's going to draft for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to put the coin into Dormy this week.
You got to beat the coin. Jacksonville and Atlanta. Falcons favored by 7.5 at home. 45.5 is the over/under.
This spread's too high.
These games are terrible.
These are terrible. This spread is too high. You told me Atlanta -4. I'm on board. 7.5. They're more than a touchdown favorite against Jacksonville, who just went on the road and won a pretty impressive win in Oakland. For what it's worth, like I don't know. Yeah, sure. The Falcons, of course, went to San Francisco. Won. That's huge. The Falcons have won a couple of big games this year, but if you put one iota of confidence or faith in the Falcons, you are going to get your heart ripped out. And so we're going to take Jacksonville.
These Sharps, this apparently was the game that the Sharps came in quick on. I think some 6s, and they just all loved Atlanta. I think before it even got to the books for humans to bet. It's a tough one. The Jaguars quit a lot, right? Like you're banking on if they lose, they're probably going to get worked because that seems like how it happens. Now, was I wrong about the Jaguars last week? Yes. Because what team is actually gutless enough to lose their last game at the stadium? Oh, that was so good.
So this show just turned into us reveling in the miseries of teams that we don't like.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny about the Raiders. Go to Vegas. People are going to be pretty surprised what happens there.
At least they have a home to go to.
Like they have fans.
Well, at least they'll have some fans. And
watch next year. Well, whatever.
They have actual fans who will travel to Las Vegas.
We'll be in a palace too. Yeah, you don't think that stadium's going to be overrun? Buddy, I was there to see, you go in Vegas now and that hockey team is playing, your entire hotel is the other team. You don't think every visit, I can't wait to go to Vegas to see a Charger game.
You think there'll be a lot of yellow and blue in the stands in that game? Because I've got my doubts.
I'm just saying, if you are a Charger fan, you're going to travel. That's the game to go to. And for sure, fine, not the Chargers. They're a horrible example to put up on this comparison on any level. You're not going to catch me there. But to think that stadium next year won't be overrun with visiting fans, you're out of your mind. Anyhow, what game we talking about? Give me the Falcons. I don't know. The Jaguars, they lose, they get crunked. So I'll just take that and hope Atlanta's got their late season momentum. Dan Quinn saves his job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, just skill-wise, Atlanta's way better to begin with. And it's a big number, yes, I will give you that, Tim. But Atlanta can get to the quarterback. Jacksonville can't block. Atlanta's good at stuff in the run. Jacksonville can only run. So it just seems like a bad mismatch on paper. And if things get out of hand early, I think that the Falcons end up taking it. New Orleans at Tennessee, one of the better games of the week. Tennessee is a 2.5-point dog at home. 50 is the over/under. It's weird. It opened at 1, went to 3, now dropped back to 2.5. So we'll do it at 2.5 for the purposes of the show. Money's all over the place. Like, people steam the Saints to begin with, then now most of the money is on the Titans. I think that the Saints win. Like, Tim's ability to be out on the Saints might propel them to a Super Bowl win, Geoff.
I love it. I love it. This is a hard game to call, though. The Saints off like that great Monday night victory. The Titans off a big loss that sort of now people sort of think their backs are against it, which they clearly are. But I don't know. 2.5? Jeez. Like to get that 3, but okay. Give me the Saints. I don't know. They're too good. I don't like it though. I don't want to.
So if it was +3, you'd take the Titans, but it's 2.5. You're taking the Saints.
I would be far more inclined. I think it's going to be really close, like really close, like Lutz.
Well, one of the things that we always talk about is that Tennessee can really do damage to a lot of these finesse teams, but I think a lot of people might be misremembering the Saints. Like, they're thinking of like the 2010 Saints, not the 2019 Saints.
I agree.
Who are far less finesse.
One of the greatest things in football to me is in the last few years is how the Saints have been able to stay at the top, but they've changed their identity. That's not easy to do. Maybe the Patriots are capable of doing that, but no one else, unless you can correct me. So all full credit in the world. And then quickly on that note, to talk about the genius of Sean Payton. Nights like last night, people like to recreate history, which is always insulting. And either they're trying to look smart, but they are just showing how stupid they are. To make any reference that Drew Brees was a great Charger is so misleading and unfortunate. The Chargers went to the podium with the first overall pick with Drew Brees as their quarterback for 16 games. That's just the reality. As a second-round pick. So think of all those jabroni second-round picks that you liked in college that went to the NFL and couldn't win squat. How long did you expect those teams to stick with them? The Chargers then, orchestrated their draft day trade, and they got Phillip Rivers. And then Phillip Rivers walked in the door, and the first day of training camp, Drew Brees showed his moxie and led a players-only meeting. And every player in the room, to what I've heard, looked around and what the fuck? Who is this guy? He's going to be out the door. And Drew Brees took that last chance. We took the balls by the horns. And we lost that playoff game to the Jets that I got lucky to go to overtime. And then Kading missed the kick and Tim got lucky to win. And then Drew Brees tore his labrum in his final game without a contract. And the Chargers didn't just turn their back on Drew Brees, who had Phillip Rivers, who everyone wanted. And even Norm Chow in Tennessee was calling every day to acquire. Drew Brees tore his goddamn labrum, and 31 NFL teams told him to fuck off. And I know Culpepper and Saban and Brees is the big talking point, but New Orleans was NFL Siberia. It was NFL Siberia out of Katrina. The owner before that was getting ready to move that team to San Antonio. And then when the hurricane hit, he would be the biggest villain in America to pull the only half-decent thing that team had. And Drew Brees went there as a last resort, and God bless Sean Payton and his fucking genius. And that's it. And don't write history any other way, because there isn't another way.
Tim, the coin took Tennessee, so I'm going to just pretend to talk for you now, see if I can channel what you're thinking. Saints are overrated. Tennessee is good. They shouldn't be getting points at home. Short list for SuperLocks, Tennessee.
Yeah, the Titans are a hot knife and the Saints are butter. That's the way I see this game. I think the Saints are far more finesse than you want to give them credit for. The Titans, had it not been for a couple of crazy, fluky things to happen in and around the red zone, would have beaten the Texans last week. I
Didn't
mean, I
the
was right
Texans
to pick.
turn it over twice in
I
the
was
red zone?
right. Obviously, I was right to pick the Texans, but watching the game, I think the Titans were the better team, and it was unfortunate in some ways the better team I didn't think won the game. The Titans are still crazy talented. They're at home. The Saints outdoors in December in Nashville. That's not a warm climate by any means, so that's disadvantageous. And I just think the Saints, again, last week excluded, where they took apart a dead Colts team that was trying its best but really had nothing on the go, and things got out of hand early. The Titans are really good. The Titans have everything to play for. And I think New Orleans is overrated. This is on the short list of super locks. It is something I'm going to be teasing up. I love the Titans here. This is a great spot. Give me the Titans. Our little contest, I'm probably going to pick them to win.
So Tennessee to plus 8.5.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Again, I think New Orleans is a very, very, very soft team. And I hope that they have to play in the first round. I think it's still likelier than not they will play in the first round. And who knows? If they catch anybody other than Minnesota, I'd probably pick them to win.
Giants and Washington. Washington gets to be a favorite this week. Minus 2.5 at home. 42.5 is the over-under. This game is not good. It's going to be Eli versus Haskins. I'll take Haskins. I'll take the Skins minus 2.5. Geoff?
I'll take the Skins as well. And I hate this game. Selfishly, I hate this game, and I'll tell you why. I don't need either of these teams winning another game. I need teams in the top 5 that have just drafted their quarterback and that are looking for a package. So I hate that these two teams have to play. I hope they tie. Give me the Redskins, though. You pretty much cut it. I'll take, the Redskins.
Let's go with the better defense, the better pass rush. You put the pass rush on Eli. He's going to be throwing a ton. Then as long as you can just kind of like limit the amount of damage that Barkley can do, then you should be good to go here. The coin is taking Washington. Tim, I heard in a game between quarterbacks, which one do you think has more skin tangibles?
It's a clean sweep. Give me Washington.
It's not a clean sweep because the coin picked the Giants.
I thought you just said the coin picked Washington.
I may have said that, but it picked the Giants.
Okay, well, the clean sweep between the 3 humans on this show. And if Paul were picking, Paul would probably pick Washington too. Give me the Skins.
I wonder, Geoff, how do you think that the public money is going to come in on this game? Because I can never really peg the Giants properly. Like, it seems like people like to bet on the Giants and bet against the Redskins. But, like, every sensible person I know has talked about, like, Washington should really win this game.
The one I'm looking at, and there's, it's when we're doing this, there's not a ton of bets, but it's early 56% leaning to the Giants.
All right, what I'm looking at is Giants. 82% of the money is on them so far.
Well, shows you the discrepancy
Of book to book, yeah.
in these sorts of things. But yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. There's a stank on for the Redskins, and then people who had the guts to bet them last week against a team that needed it and a team that a lot of people loved in September. A lot of people felt, it took a lot of balls for the casual bettor to pull that trigger on only 4 points, and they're still hating Washington. So they'll just be the other side blind.
Well, next game then. Tim, I'll let you start on this. Pittsburgh at the Jets. Jets 3-point dogs at home. 38.5 is the over-under. Don't expect a lot of points here. So you feel disrespected by a team that's 5-9 against the spread versus a team that's 7-5-2 against the spread?
Yeah, but like Hodges is not good.
Neither is Darnold. So I mean, Geoff, hold on. Geoff, who would you rather start your franchise with? Hodges or Darnold? Hodges.
Darnold.
It's clearly Hodges. It's a bad.
I'll get it out of the way. The Jets might be my super lock.
Oh, I love that. Geoff knows these
things.
You
guys know how I go with the Jets in a super lock.
Oh, this is great news. When Jeff's on our side, we win. And when he's against us, we lose. He's like the barometer. This is fantastic. Here's the thing. We have 3 major injuries to our defense, but the Steelers don't have an offense. So this is one of the
we have an injury. We don't have any good players, but we have so many injuries.
We have 3 stars on defense that
Oh
are
my
hurt,
God.
but it doesn't matter as much against Pittsburgh as against other teams because the Steelers don't have an offense to take advantage. So that's great. Hodges is not good. You think he's going into play the Gotham City Football Club and going to be able to beat us? I don't think so. I mean, we should actually be favored in this game. And again, all the more reason that I think Tennessee's going to get in the playoffs because if Pittsburgh, I think, is going to lose this game. Sam is going to play great. He's going to find the holes in the defense that Allen kept overthrowing last week. The receivers, for the most part, were up already, good to go. Sam plays much better at home than he does on the road. We're coming off the mini bye. The Steelers are coming off a short week. JETS, tease us up. We're winning the game, no doubt in my mind.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I'll take a team that has a defense over a team that has no defense. That generally works out well.
Mosley and Adams
Shut
are hurt.
up, Geoff.
I am going to take the Jets, and if I can't make them my super lock because I don't know if Adams and the other guys play.
I doubt it.
But if they, because it's just I can't make that decision at this point with that unknown. But I really like the Jets, even though this punk came and beat the chart. I don't believe in this quarterback laying road points. That doesn't make sense to me. As good as the Steelers are, as impressive as everything that's happened there is, I think the Jets snake them on Sunday. I could bet them outright if the injury report is to my liking.
You guys have fun with it. I like that your comment is Pittsburgh should have blown the doors off Buffalo, but have no chance against the Jets. I like your logic circle there.
I saw enough from Hodges. I have seen enough. That was more of a play against the Bills than on the Steelers. I've seen enough from Hodges. I think he's just not good.
He's not.
You're going to give me a significantly better quarterback at home.
Not significantly better.
Where he thrives. Let's just say he's hitting the town on Sunday night. Let's just put it that way.
Has to be in bed by 11.
Well, they play early.
Man, Sam Darnold's such a loser.
He's such a good quarterback.
He's not a good. I mean, he looked really, really good when they were down by 35 points, throwing against like a 4th string defense on Thursday night. He's excellent.
Whatever.
ESPNU was playing the Rose Bowl yesterday.
Yeah, I was watching.
You get ESPNU?
No, I just went on YouTube and found the clips of the game.
I was going to say, because you don't know how to stream that either. But okay,
no.
yeah.
When you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, I should watch that. I was feeling blue on Thursday, so I rewatched that Dolphins-Patriots game where the Patriots lost on Monday Night Football. The amount of nonsense going on in that game, like that they would call 15-yard penalties for, they don't call anything on in that game. It's mind-blowing. It's shocking sometimes to watch 15-year-old football and to see how different it is.
This is where, there's no way. Not in a million years. People know we're both crazy about our team. Not in a million years was there any other teams, not even the Chargers games would I go back and rewatch. Let alone watching teams I don't like losing rewatch games. That is so fucked up. Let alone teams that lose a game that still go on to win the Super Bowl. What the fuck?
Made me feel good.
It's so messed up, man.
We're at the halfway point of the show, which means it's time for a CUST Corner Mini Tim. You promised last week you would give the people your tips on malls at Christmas time. We didn't do it, so we've saved it for this week. You are a professional mall walker, if people didn't know. So please hit us up with your mall tips at Christmas time.
So there are a few. First things first, getting to the mall. Do not try to park as close to the mall as you can. That's a minus EV play. Park away from it. Be away from the cars. That way you don't have to worry about the hustle and bustle of a million cars trying to get in and out and in and out. You don't. Holiday shopping is stressful enough.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why don't you spend the $20 and use the valet service?
Okay. Well, I would never use the valet service. I can park my own car. Thank you kindly.
Well, it sounds like you're parking 3 miles away. I'll pay the $20 so I can just get in and out.
No,
I would agree with Tim that once you get in the lot, you just got to go to the back. You got to accept sort of the reality of why I would just directly go to the back and
you know, as soon as I find a place, park my car. But sort of to find a good spot, that feels like a doomed effort, if
Well-
that's sort of what he's implying.
If you're going to the mall to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on gifts, the plus EV move is to use the valet service.
Okay, so yes, you can't get creeped and followed, and sure, yeah. Yeah,
I'm not
there's
even
some-
talking about getting creeped or followed. I'm just talking about the amount of time that's now going to take you to find a spot. You're parking forever away. Then you have to go walk over there. Let's say it's really cold out where you live. And then all of a sudden you have all this stuff with you. Then you have to walk back to your car a mile in like minus 20-degree weather. No, thank you.
That's all
I will
part
have
of the
I will
experience.
have my car heated up and given to me out front once I walk out with my parcels.
Well, I suppose some of us
I
have
don't
made
know
it tougher
if you-
fiber.
I don't know if you heard that, but Tim is implying that all the inconvenience that you just said, I think he was just quoted as saying it's part of the charm of Christmas.
It is part of the experience of Christmas shopping. It's something you have to put up with. Yeah. The other trick is,
But you don't have. But hold on, you don't have to put up with this. Is what I'm telling you.
well, I think you ought to. I think
Here's
it's
the thing.
it's
Don't
money
you
out of it.
remember from our mobile ordering conversation that one of the highlights for the internet was Tim referring to the shared experience, that it's unfair for someone to use mobile ordering. There should be a shared
Exactly.
experience.
Oh, I got one for you right here. People are traveling on the holidays. Jeff, I know you are. I'll be traveling very soon, and I have booked a service where I drive my car up to the airport with my wife and child in it. We get our stuff out of it, and I just toss the keys to some dude. He goes and parks it while we're gone, and then when our plane lands, he comes and picks us up out front. We don't have to drive him back.
Pat, we did this exact thing. It's like 2 minutes from the airport. We had to pull off. We pick up a guy. It's a company. It's not just a guy.
Yeah,
He
no.
gets in the-
Yeah. I did that too, but I paid the extra $20 that I don't have to go pick him up. He just meets me there.
Oh, well, my wife didn't even tell me about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's kind of annoying. So yes, it's sort of the same thing, but you did the elite package. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm onto it. We're onto it.
Tim, this feels like something you wouldn't be a part of.
No, but I did park my car and then have a shuttle take me to the airport and then bring me back to the airport a couple of months ago. And I thought that was rather convenient. I had never done this before. Usually I just parked in the underground or covered and just walked in, but I parked in this place and they took me on this little tiny bus and I had to remember the spot in the lot I was in because it was a rather big lot. And they give you a little ticket and then you pay it when you come back. And yeah, it was pretty interesting.
I have just some of my worst childhood memories are in that fucking park and fly. And I don't know, fucking
That's
up
what it was.
something.
It was a park and fly.
Yeah, fucking up something before a family vacation, and my dad like dragging me by my neck, like, oh my god.
Well, the
Yeah,
fellow
this is
next to
in the
me
day.
had lost it.
My
Lost it.
dad's old school. This all like good guy culture, no spanking. Like he was way, he's old school. I got some horrible memory. I get the chills when I drive by the fucking park and fly.
Oh, Tim, do you want a tip that may or may not be true? Because I haven't confirmed this yet.
Sure.
So I have a friend who, like you, is a PhD. And he found out when he was at the airport. Now, I don't know if they were fucking with him or not, but they ask if you go to the front of the security line and identify that you're a doctor, even if you're not a medical doctor, you get to skip security.
You can't be serious. There's
This-
got to be some perks to this thing.
That he told me that this is a real thing. Now, I don't know if that's true, so I wasn't able to confirm it, but I think you should try this.
No, I wouldn't, even if it were a thing, and let's just say for argument's sake it is, I wouldn't want to take advantage of that situation.
I mean, I'm only having kids for the sole purpose that I don't have to stand in the fucking line at the airport.
All right, and then you get to board before everybody else. I guess that's an advantage.
I mean, I don't really care about the boarding before everyone. I mean, I do prefer to board before everyone else. It's really the security that gets me low, though.
I get it. No, well, I mean, you could just get a Nexus card and make your life that much easier.
Oh, I've put it this way. I've tried to get my Nexus card, but my wife says that she needs to get it with me. And now that we have the baby also needs one. I've had my appointment booked like 5 times, but she can never do it. She doesn't want to do it. So I've now been sitting here 2 years with my thumb up my ass about getting my fucking Nexus card. And I'm the only one who travels to America anyway.
You could get your Nexus card, and then when she doesn't have it, she'll be so annoyed by the process she has to go through that she'd get her Nexus card right away.
Yeah,
My
you're very clearly not married, Tim.
I'll tell you this: my dad has a Nexus, and my mom doesn't, and he's happy to sit in a lounge and see her on the other side with a smile. But he does travel a lot more, and she can get it, but she doesn't want to go do an interview or some shit.
It literally takes like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. She's late. I have no idea. I don't know. If she wants it, she can get it, like your wife. But you should definitely get it, Pat.
I know I should for the amount of traveling that I do, especially across the border, I should definitely have it. But I keep waiting for her to say, like, commit to a certain time, and it's not in the cards. Pissing me off. Anyway, Tim, your tips.
Yeah. Another thing is to understand when to attack, when to go to the mall. And here's the thing, folks. Saturday night at this time of year is the perfect time to go shopping. People are at their parties. People are at their various events. The malls are significantly quieter on Saturday nights than they are at regular shopping hours. That's when you go. That's when you can find deals. That's where you can sort of move around and be comfortable. There isn't the long line at the food court.
You would turn down an invitation to a party, or you're just not invited to one?
You know what? You need to get your shopping done. It's okay if you say no to one party because you got to. You can go to a party if it's a party that's pretty good. Malls close at 9:30. You'll get your shopping done and get to that party by 9:30 or so and be fashionably late. So they say. So that's what you should do. Go on a Saturday evening or take a day off and go in the morning when it's far quieter. Now you got to be strategic. If you go at Saturday at 2:00. You're not going to get it. It's going to be, it's Armageddon. You must avoid that at all costs. So pick your spots strategically. Go Saturday nights or go early in the morning as the mall opens. That's the time.
I feel like skipping work to go shopping.
No, not skipping.
Is a pretty minus EV move. One, you're spending money, plus you're doubling down by giving up money you'd be making.
Well, I'm saying take a day off work, like take a day's vacation.
Yeah, Tim, we don't all work with your cushy job where we can just take days off whenever we want.
Okay, first of all, I can imagine the cringe factor of this take when his thing is miss the party or use a vacation day to get you some in-law you don't even freaking like a present.
Imagine having vacation days left at this time of year. Everyone's used them at this point, Tim.
Not me. I don't take a lot of annual leave, so.
So the real move here, and Geoff, you can probably attest to this, because I have to get family gifts because I travel back home. I do not live in the city where most of my family lives. So I can't buy presents here and bring it back with me. I mean, that's just not going to happen. I would just leave them here.
Can I guess? Guess?
You can guess. Yes, go ahead.
Do you use the Amazon?
Yes, I go to the Amazon store, yes. The one on the internet, not the one in person, as Tim might think. And I get stuff sent to where I am staying at home, and then you can even get them wrapped, which I do. And then I just have gifts all right there, and I don't even have to go to the mall. That seems way easier. And it's cheaper. That's nice.
Yeah, you can also just send it directly to these people if you're not even going to see them. You can just have Amazon ship it to them. The part of Amazon that Tim knows, the receiving end.
Yes, now I do that with some people, but I do like to give the gifts in person to people.
Course.
But some people I'm not going to see that I do get gifts for, so I do send it directly to them.
And you are sort of not sharing the experience that Tim is going to be disappointed in.
No, and you're not tangibly picking up the gift and looking over and giving it a once over to see if there's any flaws or imperfections or anything like that. I don't know. I like to be able to hold in my hands the things I'm going to buy.
Well, Tim, I can't just take off work and go to the mall for pewter inspection.
No, I said Saturday night. Go then. People, whatever party you got, you can skip that for a couple hours and get your shopping done and then come back later. And kill two birds with one stone.
I mean, I can do my Christmas shopping in an Uber from my phone on the way to the party.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That seems kind of bah humbuggish to me. I don't know. There's something wrong with that.
Please explain to me why there is.
I got nothing wrong with doing some shopping like that. That's fine, whatever. But to do all of it that way, I don't know. There seems to be something about the experience of going to the mall when it's busy.
This whole segment is about how shitty it is to go to the mall at Christmas time.
It's not ideal,
but the mall is the most negative EV move. Like going.
Oh, I kind of like it. I mean, it's not as pleasant this time of year with all the weekend warriors walking around, but nevertheless, it's still an enjoyable experience. You know, you can get out, get some exercise, you get to walk around. There's all kinds of cool things to buy and eat and see. Like it's fun. But you know, you're sort of on a mission this time of year. You gotta have your head up and knowing what stores to go to. That's the other trick. If the store you want to buy something in is busy at that moment, Christmas rushes come and go. So don't go to that store when it's nuts. Go do a loop, go do something else, and then come back to that store. And you know what? 9 chances in 10, it'll be much quieter and you'll get your service.
Don't you just sorry, you say that like people just wouldn't do that anyways if they
Well,
were at
people
the
are
mall.
piling. Every time I walk by the Apple store, for example, it is teeming crazy, and yet people are going in anyway.
Yeah, well, that never actually dies down.
It
Yeah,
has to
that-
at some point.
And there is a thing at the Apple store where people are just in there like using the products to test them out or do whatever. That's not actually the size of the line. Usually there's some sort of genius around that can help you out.
They're just in there basically stealing the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, or there's someone like my mom who's like phone broke, or like Tim who could fix it, like just doesn't know how. So she has to go talk to the Apple guy.
Tim Apple?
But no, I think most people do not make that loop. I think they just go into the store anyway because they're here. But no, I go for a loop. Go do something else and come back.
If you have to go to multiple stores, you definitely go for the loop. Some people are just there for the one store, so obviously they're going to park in the line.
Oh, it's a mall. There's a million things you could do to kill 15 minutes. Come on.
People don't care to eat an $8 froyo.
Well, they don't have to do that then. They can just go for a walk and take in the sights and the sounds and just lap it all in. Like that's enjoyable too. I guess I'm not so antisocial as you all are.
Oh, yes. If there's one thing we know about you, it's you're not antisocial.
You're telling people, Tim, you're telling people to go out on Saturday night before Christmas, and you're saying we're antisocial. You're gonna turn down Christmas parties for other people. People invite you, and you're saying that we're antisocial.
I'm not turning it down. I'll just show up late.
But you don't stay late, so you're only going to be there for like 3 minutes.
No, I'll stay a little bit. I'll stay for a couple hours.
Does that mean that we're not going to see you this Saturday night at my party?
No, my shopping's done.
You did that in like October?
I got a lot done on the Black Friday, and I picked some up one Saturday evening as well, and I finished it off, and I was pretty proud of myself.
Well, I got bad news for you and the Christmas gift that I got you this year.
What's that?
I got you $3,000 worth of Subway cards. But now that you're on keto, you can't use them.
But they don't expire.
So when you give up on keto, you're going to have the biggest, you buy like 20 7-foot subs.
I may just buy a party sub
You
on
can
Canada Day or something.
you can have it as a salad, Tim.
Yeah, I can't be one of those people, Paul. I can't be.
Why not?
I just can't. I can't be one of those people in public who go, yeah, I'd like to have my spicy Italian as a salad, please. I can't do that.
No, you can't.
I mean, you can do that.
No, I can't. I can't. I despised that for so long. I cannot become what I despise.
Can I give you a tip?
Yeah.
You could Uber Eats it so you don't have to show your face in the location that you're
Smart.
afraid to.
I don't know how to do that. Secondly, I don't want to do that.
A few more things about Christmas time traveling. Geoff, you kind of hit on it when you said your dad was just chilling in the lounge. Getting lounge access and a cheap way to lounge access is really key to traveling.
Yeah, you just got to own the right credit cards, it seems, right?
Yeah, that should be the two things that you should look for in credit cards the most is one, whatever the point system, the cash back system, whichever one benefits you most. With mine, I get like travel miles on my MasterCard, but I also get lounge access to all the MasterCard lounges. Like it's for if you travel more than like twice a year, even if you only travel at Christmas time, because you get like the 2 free ones. And it's a shitty time of year. It could be weather delays. You want a place where you can hang out that is not uncomfortable, that you can kind of like sit back, hang out, get some free food, get some free drinks. Lounge access is an absolute must if you're traveling around the holidays.
Yeah, I once got stranded at YYZ for like 18 hours, and having lounge access was key.
And if you ever want to get trapped in an airport and you have lounge access, make sure you get trapped in the Minnesota airport.
Yeah, with the PGA simulator. That was a fun airport.
Yeah, it was a great
Oh,
one.
that's awesome.
Yeah, because they had the Ryder Cup there, they built this thing up at the airport. Then the lounge took it over. It's incredible.
Yeah, no,
Want
it's,
to know something? People going to the DFS Open, the Palm Beach Airport is the only airport I've seen where there's putting greens at the gates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, swear to God.
I'm gonna be going to that, the DFS Open. I think there's an auction to play with Wiley and myself too, if people want to get into that. But I didn't realize there was a direct flight. I'm fired up. There is.
Yes. Let's just say Toronto to Palm Beach is a very, very popular route. And it's not even one of those shitty Rouge ones. Air Canada knows.
Any other mall tips, Tim, for the people?
I mean, the last one would be in the last week of Christmas. Oftentimes, the Boxing Day sales begin early. You can take advantage of those. Don't be afraid to. Like, actively look for it. See if they're starting to put up the Boxing Day sale stuff. Because if so, you can get some really good discounts at the last minute. Some people think, oh, it's not till after Christmas I'll get all my deals. But no, you can, in fact, take advantage the 22nd, 23rd, 24th if you're out there. So keep your eyes open for that.
The last thing I'll say, if you're giving gift cards as a gift, as Tim enjoys to do, don't make them to any specific place or get them from like a mall. Just get a fucking Visa gift card.
Subway.
No, just get... If you're going to give, I mean, just give people cash if that's going to be the case. But, like, no one wants a Subway gift card. That just means you're mental if you think that's a good idea to do. But, like, a Visa gift card, then they can spend it. Then they can spend it on whatever they want. They don't even need to go out to cash it in. They can pay for everything online if they want to.
I've gotten in the habit of
an
giving
Amazon gift card.
Amazon gift card works just as well.
I've been in the habit of giving people gift cards to the movies as well. You're sort of giving them a night out without.
You're not.
telling them.
You're dictating what they now have to do, and people don't want to do that.
People like to go to the
You
movies.
give me a movie gift card, I throw that in the trash.
Well, then I would fish it out of the trash. Use it
Yeah, I would too.
Got to go to the movies in a couple of days.
You're gonna go see the Star Wars?
I want to go see the Star Wars relatively soon. Yes.
Well, good luck getting in on opening weekend.
I feel like you could get in on Friday evening.
Tim, you know you could buy your tickets advanced online, but would that not be part of the cinematic experience to walk up to some pimply faced teenager and get your ticket?
No, I know how to use the terminal. I don't go to the box office, but I despise the assigned seating at the.
Why?
theater.
You can go buy your seat right now if you want.
No, but I like to get early and get the seat I like.
Let's jump back into the late set of games. Kicking it off, we have Detroit at the Broncos. Broncos favored at home by 6.5 points. 38.5 is the over-under. Tim, you've picked the Lions to win the Super Bowl next year. Their quarterback, their star quarterback, is now on IR with a broken back, and they are giving one more year to potentially the worst coach in football. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm rescinding that with Matt Patricia. Let me just be blunt about that. Inexplicable why he would keep his job. I don't know what they're doing. That's crazy talk. And there's no way that the Lions, a dome team, is going across the country to play outdoors in a meaningless game and win against Denver. Like, we're taking the Broncos here. Not even a thing about it.
Are they a part of your teaser?
They are. They are the fifth part of the teaser.
So Denver
down to one.
Minus a half point?
Minus a half point, sorry, yeah.
All right, Geoff, what do you make of this?
Yeah, Tim sort of took my thunder. I'll just add in, I think Vic Fangio is pretty much, unless I'm really forgetting someone, because it seems like they all suck, first-year head coach who's been pretty good. And I think that they'll ride this thing to the finish line pretty hard in Denver, especially with the quarterback, playing and getting the late start to his season. I think it all matters. I don't like to pick them because it matters more, but Tim put up the other side of the coin, so I'm adding this one. Denver outside this time of year. Detroit going, not a good look. I like Denver, and I think they'll finish the season very strong.
Yeah, and they're already good against the spread, which always bodes well looking into next year, too. So I'm going to take Denver. The coin is taking the Lions. Ooh, Oakland at the Chargers. Now, a lot of people said that Oakland played its last ever game at home last week. But Geoff, let me put this out to you. As 6-point underdogs in Los Angeles, 45.5 the over-under, couldn't this be their last home game?
What the fuck? Is this point spread some sort of joke?
Like
This is
it should be like 2, right?
I didn't pick them. Who are we? We're nothing. I'll make this short and sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never really had the willpower, so I can't blame anybody. But I knew I didn't fucking want to be there. God. Okay. I just feel like a little kid who's scared at the amusement park. It's like, Mommy, can I get off the ride now? I don't want to be on this ride any longer, Mommy. Mommy, get me off this ride. Like, the longer I stay on the ride, guys, it might get bad. And how I remember everything could get worse. So I no longer want to be on the ride. I don't think I should be on that ride next season because I can't afford to do it again.
Well, I'm off the ride altogether. I've forsworn off the Chargers next season. I want nothing to do with this
Shut
team.
up and let me talk.
I think they'll
because I'm not. You could say whatever you want to say. I'm talking about the one player in particular. You're talking about the team as a whole. You want to go down that rope? They have not a single bad contract on the roster, so they'll be just fine. They will, and they're going to move into a palace, and it'll be a process. But in terms of what matters, I can't be on the ride anymore. The ride's got to stop. I got to get off.
So you're taking Oakland?
No, I mean, like, Phillip. I just can't ride that horse right now. Can't ride the horse. We can't ride it into next year. He made some comments even after the game that anybody who's even been paying half attention had to be sort of taken aback by. Like, he's, like, feeling it. Like, he's alluding. Everything was always fine. Fine, we'll worry about it down the road. Now he's sort of like verbally acknowledging like it's not fine. And the organization might need to do some things. I sort of compared my experience. Well, I don't know what to compare it to. I'll ask you for my analogy. But my point being is I'm not a music man. I like, Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots, and he killed himself. And that was probably the only concert I'd go to anymore. But I'm not a music man. But it felt like to me watching him play Sunday was like watching like the guy that you loved, the musician, but he's like 78 on stage and it still thinks he can do it. You're like, oh my God.
So it's like going to a Rolling Stones concert like tonight.
Yeah, it was like my great aunt once went to go see George Jones, and he was so drunk that he couldn't get through like 2 songs.
I mean, in fairness, I saw Aerosmith in the mid '90s, and Steven Tyler got so drunk he fell off the stage.
So that's sort of like what it felt like. Let's play the last songs. Yeah, that's really all I got. I don't want to be on the ride because I don't want my memories. They're fine right now.
So you're taking you're taking Raiders +6?
No. I'm just talking about the future.
We need to make a pick on this game. Who are you picking?
Yeah, I'll pick the Chargers for this week because I don't care. But all my words are about like the future.
Okay. Tim, I'm taking Oakland. Who are you taking?
Raiders. Too many points.
It feels like a lot of points.
Yeah, it should be a 2.5 point spread. 6.
No, that's a crazy amount of points. I honestly didn't even believe the spread. Like, how is that possible? What the fuck's going on there? If you like the Chargers, don't bet it now. There's no way that thing can rise. And if you like Oakland, get the points today.
Well, looking at it right now, most of the money and bets are on the Chargers.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. So you're taking the Chargers. So is the coin Oakland for Tim and I. Arizona and Seattle. Tim, you've mentioned like 2 or 3 times that the Niners are like definitely going to win the division, despite the Seahawks currently being the 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, well, that's only a place. They'll play each other next week, and that will decide things. And I'm spoiler alert, I intend to pick the Niners in that game.
Does the tiebreak go to San Francisco?
It wouldn't be a tiebreak. They'd have the exact same record going into that game. So the winner would have a better record.
Oh, yes. Unless the Niners lose to the Rams.
Sure. Then that would upset things, to be sure. Then I don't know what the tiebreak. I'd have to look at the division records. Losing the Rams can't help. Let's see here. Seahawks, Cardinals. I was impressed by the way Arizona came out last week. I wasn't too sure if they had that in them. And they just laid the wood to the Browns. So that's impressive. I think Seattle is living a very charmed life. I think they're a good team and not a great team, and yet they're in the number 1 seed. So I think they're a bit overrated, and 9.5 is too many in division. So I will take the Cardinals.
I'm going the same way. Just Seattle exclusively plays these close games that, if they're going to give up more than a touchdown, just take the other side of it. I fully expect Seattle to win this game. Although they do not have Josh Gordon anymore, but covering 9.5 is a ton. Geoff?
Make it a hat trick. Seattle, I mean, last year we thought they overachieved, and this year they're blowing that out of the water, and we all acknowledge it's the magic man, Russell Wilson, and a couple other very shrewd things that have gone on there, but just too many points. Seattle protects the victory, but I see Arizona sneaking the number.
Dallas at Philadelphia, America. This is game of the week. This could be for the division. However, it is not actually technically for the division. Philadelphia's a 3-point dog at home. 46.5 is the over-under. Someone pointed this out that you can bet the money line on Dallas minus 145, or you can bet Dallas to win the NFC East currently at like minus 127 or something like that. That even if they lose this game, they would still have a 22% chance of winning the division. It would require the Eagles to lose to the Giants next week, but the Eagles seem like they could lose to anybody. So that's, if you wanted to bet money line on Dallas, which I'm not saying to do or not do, but that's just a different way to look at the odds if you wanted to do that. It really feels like the Cowboys should crush them because I can't figure out what to make of the Eagles. So I'll just take the dog and I'll take the Eagles because it makes no sense. This division makes no sense. So give me with the pick that makes no sense. Tim?
Get the Eagles out of my life. Oh my God, they're bad. They're awful to watch. They win games they have no right to win. They're in games against teams that are significantly inferior. 2 weeks in a row, we've seen it. We've seen it all season long. They lost that game early to the Falcons. They lost, they're just a very, very disappointing team, and I don't want to watch them in the playoffs for one moment. So Dallas at least is exciting, and they've got exciting players and can win any game they're in a one-game sample. And I think the Eagles are far more challenged than that. So, yeah, I'm taking Dallas. Give me the boys.
Geoff?
I'm with you, Pat. This is just going to be so freaking close. I feel it. I'm taking the points. I'm taking the Eagles. I hope Lane Johnson plays.
Yeah, Lane Johnson playing would be a huge boost here. And it doesn't even matter if they get their receivers back at this point or not. Like, Alshon's done. Deshaun is done. Like, they're going to have to roll with your boy, Tim. Greg Ward, game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, what a great team that they're fielding out there. They should be very proud of themselves.
Well, the one tricky thing for the Dallas defense is Dallas tends to play really well on the perimeter against receivers, but struggle against tight ends, especially big tight ends. And that's all we got, baby. Big tight ends for Philly.
Yeah, I agree. And Philly has some players on the defensive side of the ball, but Dallas should beat them down.
So Philly for Geoff and myself, Dallas for Coin and Tim. Sunday night, Kansas City at Chicago. The Bears are done. The Chiefs are playing for the 1 seed. However, this just seems really trappy to me, Geoff. I'm going to take the Bears plus 5.5. I think Trubisky's been like decent enough where they can kind of get it rolling here. And the Chiefs haven't looked like, even the beatdown against the Broncos, they didn't quite look like the Chiefs. And it was really weird because it's the snow. Of course, it's going to be low scoring. I think at one point, Patrick Mahomes throughout the third quarter, the Chiefs had gained like 400 yards of offense. They could not get the ball into the end zone. And Denver's defense is pretty equivalent to Chicago's defense. And with Akeem Nicks back, like, they can stop the run a little bit. I don't even know who's going to be healthy for the Chiefs in the backfield. I think the Chiefs can potentially win, but I think it's going to be really close, and they could get upset in this game. So I'm going to take the Bears plus 5. Geoff?
Yeah, I'll side with you again on that. Home points, 5 of them Sunday night. This season has been a bit of a cluster expletive for the Bears and their expectations, but they'll find it. I think it'll be a close game. Wouldn't be shocked at all if the Chiefs won, but I don't see the Chiefs winning big like last week.
I would think that if you wanted to get the bet the Bears, unless you were betting money, even if you were betting money line, that you just wait. By the time Sunday night rolls around, after everyone's lost their money on the early slate, then chased it and lost it again on the late slate, they're going to come in with a gigantic mallet and try to hammer home the Chiefs, and the Bears will just be there to throw a wrench into everything. Tim?
I don't have a big handle on this game, but I know come Sunday night, I would rather be holding a Chiefs ticket than a Bears ticket. So I'm going to play the Chiefs. I don't know. I think they win by a touchdown or so.
All right, so Bears for Geoff and I, Chiefs for Coin and Tim. Final game, another sort of irrelevant division game, kind of like the Patriots and Bills, but Green Bay's at Minnesota, -4.5 is the spread, 45.5 is the over-under. As we record this, no word yet on Dalvin Cook or Alexander Mattison, whether or not either of them will play, but I like the Vikings. The Vikings are always better at home. I like the Vikings at home. This is going to require like some weirdo on the Packers, whether it be Valdez-Scantling or Kumaro or Lazard, to like have a big game against, because the Vikings can stop the run. And they're horrible in the secondary. But I just don't know if the Packers have the receiving core to really take advantage of that. So I like the Vikings here, -4.5.
Yeah. Is Mr. Monday Night 0-8 lifetime under center for the Vikings? I think he is. The Vikings do not win Monday Night Football games. He doesn't win Monday Night Football games. I like the Packers to cover. I like the Packers to win. We're teasing the Packers up there. Parlay. There's nothing to like about this Vikings team in this game. I think it's a really bad spot. I just think the Green Bay getting this many points is sort of foolish, because last time I looked, Green Bay's winning this division and beat them already, and Minnesota is, well, now they're in the playoffs because of the LA's loss, but like, come on, this is a foolish spread. This should be 3. You give me 4.5. That's disrespectful. Give me Rodgers against Cousins any day of the week.
Coin likes the Vikings, Geoff. I assume you like the Vikings too?
I do, and I'm annoyed that finishing the show, Pat, me and you have all sort of ended up on the same side. But I guess playing for my own record more than just trying to. I'm not going to chase you and not say something I believe in for the purposes of something that's worth nothing. I like the Vikings. I actually think they're the better team, and I think they'll pull it out on Monday night. And Cousins, in a kind of meaningless game, can put that stupid narrative that Tim references as a reason he's going to pick the Packers to bed.
All right, let's recap here. Tim, free money teaser. What is it?
All right, people. It's Christmas time. You need to win some farms. You can give away some farms at Christmas time. Well, I'm here for you. I'm here to help out. All right, put it together. We have, where's my teaser line?
New England minus a half point.
New England, the Jets, Denver, Baltimore, Tennessee, Packers.
All as a part of a 6-point teaser. Tim currently 1-15 for the year on his free money teaser, 6-63 lifetime.
But don't worry, the week he won, he makes it. He makes up for the other ones he didn't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this one pays 800 to 1, so it's good.
Yeah, I just mean like in his bravos and like a credit seeking. You know, he just makes up for 15 wins.
I think he had 3 games on his teaser last week that just outright lost.
Whatever.
So I'm excited for Green Bay to ruin this for you. Actually,
it's not getting through Buffalo.
Oh, that's true. He's not getting through Buffalo. That's true. Superlocks of the week. Geoff, you were the only victor last week, so let's go to you.
You know, if I had the injury report I wanted with the Jets, I would take the Jets. But for the purposes, I can't do that without seeing Adams healthy this early in the week. I'm going to take, as a super lock, the worst team in the entire league, the Cincinnati Bengals. I think there's a ton of value with the Bengals this week. I'm crazy.
Cincinnati +1 for Geoff. Tim?
I will also take a meaningless dead team. I will take
the Jets.
The Broncos -7.
Denver -7. So short list for me. I really wish that Houston game was still at 1 because I would have loved that. 3's a bit much. I like Buffalo. I like Washington. Ugh. Yeah, might as well go. Let's make it a trifecta of meaningless games. I'll take the Skins. Skin tangibles, Tim, -2.5.
Great. We are just picking great teams here.
Yeah.
I love it.
You put your investment into great teams, you can only get great rewards, I think. that'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Catch us next week, week 17. We're going to try to give it a go. It'll be audio only. I'll throw it up on YouTube as well if you want to check it out. Give you something to do on Boxing Day or any other days of the week, because I have new shows every single weekday during all the way till the end of the year, and then starting again in the beginning of the year. If you haven't checked out the golf shows yet, Geoff and I already have one out. We have another 2 coming up. We've reviewed the majors, made some bets on that. Always a fun show. And then we have a player draft coming up towards the end of the year, and then Tournament of Champions begins like January 3rd. So we'll be back in studio live doing that one again. I want to thank Paul behind the camera. I want to thank the Coin for being here, Geoff phoning in from LA, and Tim Undercust.
Tim and August.
That's not my name. At Tim Anderson 87, I bring the funny.
Yeah, you're not so funny online. You're more sad.
Very funny, and I make fantastic lists.
No. I don't know how fantastic your lists are, but Geoff, any words for the people before the holidays?
Happy holidays.
That's very nice of you, Geoff. Insightful stuff. Bring in the heat.
I got nothing. I'll leave it at that.
All right. If you out there want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, smash the like, leave your DraftKings handle, favorite over/under, or favorite spread of the week. That's easy stuff. The hard stuff, $100 DK giveaway. Subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Leave a 5-star review, your DraftKings handle, something you like about this show, and you'll be in the draw for 100 DK bucks. If you live in like one of them weird countries, like not America, kind of like I live in, but if it's like Norway or Denmark or Iceland, Lithuania, big on the Pat Mayo Experience, reviews from those countries go a really long way to pushing us up the charts in those places, 'cause so few people actually leave reviews from those countries. So please, if you're out there internationally, hit us up and get into that draw for 100 DK dollars. Other than that, the cheat sheet will go up on dkplaybook.com and my Facebook page, facebook.com/thepme. I think that's it. This is the last live show that we're recording before Christmas. There'll just be stuff we've pre-recorded. Best of CUST. There's 3 CUST corners coming out soon. So stay tuned to the Pat Mayo Experience for all of your content needs while you're trying to kill time to get away from your family. Other than that, be safe, have some fun, enjoy the holidays. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!